How are we doing? So what I'm gonna talk about today is generational wealth. I'm gonna talk about one segment of it, and that is real estate. Something adults fail to realize, because for some reason, as adults, we feel like no one is supposed to critique us, but we're the ones that are really allowing this terrible stuff to happen, doing these things, not checking and trying to just act like we know everything. But one thing we need to realize about real estate is it's not smart for your entire family to go out and get a mortgage. What sense does it make if you're $250,000 in debt and you tell your other three kids to go get a $250,000 mortgage? Now you guys are in over $1 million of debt as a family. It makes no sense. There isn't enough houses in the world for every single person to get a 3-2-4-2 house. That's absolutely ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense. A lot of you guys have a lot of you have 4 or 5 bedroom houses, two kids, and like no one and kick them out the house and no one stays in your house. And you haven't even paid the house off yet. What sense does that make? Who's going to pay that house? A lot of y'all are in your 50s, late 50s, early 60s, and have not paid off your house, but kicked your kids out the house to go get their own new mortgage, or if not get their own new mortgage, but to pay off someone else's mortgage, which is their rent, which is probably 2-3 times the original mortgage. How in the world are you going to build generational wealth by doing that? You don't. If you kick your children out of the house and you have available rooms, you don't care about your children. This is not the world where every child, all your children, child or an adult, is supposed to go off into the world and be an individual like every American has. That's why this country is going down, because everybody's an individual. There's no groups, there's no families. Everybody's a stepmom, a stepdad. This is what we're doing by breaking up the family and telling your people to get the hell out so you can just do whatever. You are not building generational wealth by putting your entire family name in $1 million worth of debt. And that's just the mortgages. We're not talking about cars. We're not talking about credit cards. We're not talking about other expenses. We're just talking about the mortgage. Being able to have a roof over your head. What is the point? Why do you have to kick your kids out of the house you're gonna give them anyway? That makes no sense. You're gonna give them in the house anyway. Let them help you pay their mortgage. Let them help you fix the house. Keep it maintained. Because you're an older person. You don't have, unless you're in the military and you have consistent income, you don't have the funds to do that. You see what I'm saying? What we have created, we've created a system where retirement is no longer a choice, because we have to keep buying houses. We have to keep getting in debt. $250,000 here. That takes 30 years to pay off, guys. In most cases. And with this market now, you're really doing your family a disservice by making them try to survive in a market that you didn't even have to think about. A lot of the older people that have houses now didn't have to worry about cell phone bills, internet bills, um, the dollar being as worthless as it is now. They didn't have to worry about insurance. There's so many things they didn't have to worry about. And they expect us to go get a brand new mortgage immediately in our 20s. And this is just a terrible thing. A lot of this stuff is simply for Hey, look at my son. Hey, look at my daughter. And these people are literally struggling, going to the plasma center, selling their blood in order to in order to pay the bills. Like this is serious stuff, though. You know, I don't care about the monetization. This is real conversations that people need to have. Stop trying to be so proud at being in debt. Stop being so proud of not being able to ever retire. There's nothing okay about that. You should want your family around you. Why do you want them to leave so much so you can sit around and do nothing and ask them for help while they're gone? Makes no sense. We're doing stuff because we see it on TV, not because it made sense. And then we got people buying these houses in this market where people are price gouging, and then they're like, I'm not going to be able to pay this house off. I'm going to have to charge someone 3 times the rent in order to make this make sense. And then the neighbor sees them doing that, and then it's just a domino effect. Everybody is going to charge everybody 3 times their mortgage so they can have some type of income coming in, or it won't make sense. Or if not, they're going to have to sell their house 10 times for what they bought it for. And then once they get that money, they're going to have to downsize because houses are so expensive now. They're going to a smaller house probably costs the same amount as that. So we're doing this to ourselves, man. This is something we can't blame the government for. This is something the citizens have to take a responsibility for destroying their own families and their wealth, just so people don't talk about them. Just so people don't say, oh, you still live with your parents. Oh, you got a son. Who cares? Who cares? The house is going to be theirs anyway. It's just something to think about, guys, because you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot, and this is why we will never be able to retire. This is why.